and the likes. And they are also used to protect data and system from malicious actors. So our authentication, encryption, and access control, together with our network security, are used to protect data system from malicious actors or any accidental losses to an organization or individual. So next we'll be going to types of security. There are four main types of security, which are the network security, our cloud security, mobile security, and application securities. Other securities include Internet of Things, endpoint, and critical infrastructure. But we'll be focusing mainly on the four: network security and the others. As well, the network security is a process of preventing and protecting your network and data from breaches. And so, network security is a step taken to protect the integrity of a computer network and data. What I mean by integrity is the CIH, right? That is the confidentiality of a network and the integrity and also the availability of a network. So network security focuses more on protecting the traffic between devices and app to work in a secure manner. Next, we'll be talking about the cloud security. And cloud security focuses on protecting data in the cloud. That is, it refers to procedure and technology designed to protect cloud data, applications, and infrastructures from threats. So the other type of security we'll be looking at is mobile security. The mobile security protects or is a protection of smartphones, laptop, and all other portable devices and network they connect from threats and vulnerability associated with wireless computer. So what our mobile security focuses on most is protecting mobile devices like our phones, the smartphones, and our laptop. So next we'll be moving on to application security. Application security, it focuses on testing the security features within app to prevent security vulnerabilities against threats. So application security focuses on testing security features within the apps and prevent security vulnerabilities against threats. And is also a security precautions used at app level to prevent theft. So it is used to prevent theft or hijacking of data or code within an app. So next, we're going on to common security threats. So common security threats. Security threats are risks that can affect an organization or individual data or digital infrastructure. So this threat can be caused by malicious software, such as the virus, the malware, our ransomware, DDoS, and phishing attack. If you can recall your first class, your facilitator, Mr. Ayo, took you through types of threats: the virus, malware, ransomware, DDoS, and the phishing attacks. So for virus is virus is like, let me say, virus replicates each other. What I mean by that is that it replicates itself. That is, when a code or anything like a malicious link is being executed, a virus replicates itself by modifying other computers once a code has been inserted. And we're talking about malware. Malware is a code or file that infects or steals important information, and virus is a type of malware, is one of the types of malware. Then our ransomware. Ransomware is a form of malware that encrypts files. They are based on encrypting files or data in exchange of restoring it if a certain amount is paid. So like a ransomware. Take for instance, I'm working in a reputable organization, or better still, let me say I own the organization, and there are a lot of valuable assets that can be stolen, or like a lot of valuable assets that an attacker has known already and want to like gain access to it. So the person like encrypts the files or the data, gain access and encrypt the files or the data in exchange of me paying a certain amount before it can return the files back to me. And DDoS, that is DDoS, it's a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal traffic of a targeted network. So it disrupts the target of a network, the traffic of a network. That's the work of a DDoS. And phishing attack. Phishing attack is a type of social engineering attacks. I don't know if you know about social engineering, but phishing attack is a type of social engineering attack whereby personal information, private information, or confidential information are stolen through using your email, sending messages or links to your emails and all. So that's the common types of security threats that we have. There are a lot of security threats, but these are the main security threats that is common nowadays. There are other types of security threats. So next we'll be moving on to how organization can use security system to protect their data and resources. So here are some ways you can use to protect data and resources, which are the access control, authentication, encryption, and monitoring. So when it comes to access control, this one deals with the limit to a specific user's account. Like it used to limit the access of a specific user account. For instance, I have a like okay, take for instance my WhatsApp app. To limit the access of people going through it, I'll have to like impute a password or a code. So anybody trying to like log into my WhatsApp without my consent cannot gain access to it. So that's what we're talking about access control. It is used to limit access to specific users. So I will move on to authentication. Yes, authentication. This is used to like verify identity of users before giving access to data and resources. I hope we are following.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Authentication is used to verify the identity of users before giving access to the data and resources. So we must verify a user before the person can gain access to either your bank app or your laptop or your phone, something that you know is confidential. So such as your password, which is something you know. Password, it's only meant for the user, not
Yeah,
for other.
sure. Yeah.
So it is something you know. And your bank card, yeah, your ATM, it's something you have, which which is not mandatory for you to share with another person, even though it's your family member. So it is something you have, so and you have to like protect it. And your biometrics, your voice recognitions for all the rich guys in our midst that uses iPhone and the likes. So they will know more about the biometrics and voice recognition. It is something you are. So for instance, now I'm trying to like go through someone's phone. Before accessing the phone, I'll have to like, okay, put a voice recognition. And if the voice I used is different from what the person used to um to secure his phone. So there's no way will be able to like gain access to this person's phone. So using voice recognition to keep your phone from unauthorized user is something you are. So next, we're talking about the monitoring. All right, our monitoring is used is it's something used to detect and respond to suspicious activities. Like you detect and respond to suspicious activities. Okay, like okay, I gave my friend my phone, and the person gained access to my phone. And after using it, the person returned the phone back to me. And me, on the other hand, went through my phone and saw something suspicious, like an app or something I did not download on my phone. So I have to like, okay, what is this that this person downloaded on my phone? What is his work and what is it? So you have to detect and respond to suspicious activities on your phone. That is by monitoring your phone. So next, we'll be going to encryption. And encryption is by encoding readable format. It's a mathematical function used to like encode plain text or format, like in a cryptographical method, like what your tutor taught you on Tuesday, cryptography. So encryption is used to encode readable format so that it can only be read or decrypted by the user. And encryption is a way used to protect sensitive information from hackers. So example of encryptions include websites that deals with credit card, like I said earlier, your credit card and bank account numbers. They are encrypted informations there to prevent identity theft and fraud. So that's why you have to like keep your bank account or your credit card personal to you. Moving on, we are going to talk on the types of encryption. So there are two types of encryption in use today, which are the symmetric and the asymmetric encryption. So the symmetric encryption is the same key, is an encryption in which you use the same key to encrypt and decrypt a file. Take for instance now, like the image you are seeing on the screen, the plain text, which deals with okay, a message you are trying to convey to someone, and this is the encrypted key. So we use the same encryption or the same key to encrypt and decrypt this same message. So when we talk about that is by using this one, which is your plain text. Here's my private data. I'm trying to like send it to someone. So this is my own key to use to encrypt that message. I used it to encrypt this message. And when you encrypt a plain text, it will give you a ciphertext. So once you have encrypted the plain text, you are going to get something like this. So in order to decode this ciphertext, you still have to use the same key to decrypt the plain text. So that's what symmetric encryption is all about. You decrypt your plain text and your ciphertext using a same key. And next, we'll move on to the asymmetric encryption. And asymmetric encryption uses a different key to encrypt and decrypt a code. Take for instance, okay, here is my same image, but it's a little bit different. The plain text is here is my private data. I use the public key to encrypt the file, then it will turn to a ciphertext. So when I want to like decrypt this file, I'll have to use a private key. So asymmetric encryption deals with two different keys, which are the public and the private key. And the private key is kept secret by the owner of the text. And the public is either shared to authorized users, or you can make it public. So once it's a public key, it's either a recipient or a particular set of people have the key, or it makes the key general to everybody. So once I send my plain text and I encrypt it with the public key, I give it to like, okay,
We can't hear you, ma'am.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
into like only 5 people. So only 5 people have access to this that has a master key. So I will decrypt using a private key. So that's the work of asymmetric encryption. Hope you understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So using
But we missed
encryption,
something in some of the
data
things you
traffic,
said.
like what do you miss?
While you were explaining the asymmetric encryption,
All right. All right. Okay, let me go back to the asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric encryption is simply using different keys for encrypting and decrypting processes. Your symmetric encryption, you use the same key to encrypt and decrypt a file or a text. When you are using asymmetric encryption, we use different keys. And the two different keys are the private key and the public key. So the public key is a key whereby I can make it like public to everyone or give it to some set of people to gain access to the plain text I'm going to encode. So I personally want to decrypt a key. I can decrypt it using a private key, which is the private key is like a master key. It keeps secret for someone. So it's a private key. No one knows about the private key. The only one that is aware of the private key in which I can use to like decrypt a file. Do you understand that?
yes, madam.
All right. So we'll be moving to security best practices. So security best practices includes minimizing attack surfaces area and establishing secure defaults. Also security updates and keeping it simple. So I'm going to like explain that a little bit. What I mean by minimizing attack surface area, there are some functionalities of a system that is potential to any attack vector or which contains vulnerability. And by we minimizing the system services and eliminating unwanted interferences, we have less room for vulnerability and easy security access. So by we minimizing any functionality of a system, we will have when we minimize the functionality of a system, then it will eliminate unwanted interferences. And establishing secure default. It's what I mean by establishing secure default is like when you just get a new phone or a new laptop, there are some set of default passwords that are always there or default code that we see in a system or especially on our phone. There are some default codes that we see. So we need to like change the passwords and the likes to minimize or establish secure default. So we don't rely on secret code in the system. That is example like when a password are needed, they must be set during installation. So once you get a new phone, you have to like reset a password or reset the installation, some installations and changeable operations. Take for instance like the admin name and password and the likes. And security updates. Security updates.
Hey, Nugget. I take your picture. What? Where is it? It's not
Sorry, please can you mute your mic? So moving on to security updates. There are vulnerabilities that are likely found in our system after getting it. So we should always be prepared to update them using automatic updates. Like we should always make sure that our systems are up to date. Whatever apps we are running on the system, we should always make sure and check that they are up to date in order for the system to be safe and secure. And keeping it simple, what I mean by that is just like using attack surface area, but this one provides an alternative point, which is about weighing new functionalities against the complexity of the required addition. So we should always keep it simple by minimizing attack surface principles. And next, we'll be moving on to importance of security in today's digital world. So we all know that the importance of security in today's digital world cannot be overstated. And the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches is growing exponentially. So that is the main reason why we need to secure our digital world. So by doing that, we have to like protect personal data, confidential information, and digital assets in order to mitigate the damages that can result from a data breaches. So we have to protect our data, our confidential information, and digital assets by taking precautions. Don't click on unwanted or suspicious link, and also prevent malicious activities such as the identity theft, the phishing attack, and the ransomware, like what I mentioned earlier. So we have to like prevent malicious activities by also making sure that um attackers do not get through our confidential information using phishing attacks or ransomware or
We can't hear you, ma'am.
The network has disconnected again.
of users. So we should ensure that digital systems are reliable and safe
We
for
missed what you were
users.
saying, sorry.
What do you say?
Your network went off. So we missed what you were
My
saying.
network went off.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So I was talking about the importance of security in today's digital world, which is used to protect personal data, confidential information, and digital assets. So we have to like protect our data and confidential information from any attack or from cyber criminals. And also, we should also prevent malicious activities. And the malicious activities I'm talking about are the identity theft, the phishing attacks, and ransomware, such as the virus and like. So we have to prevent our digital world from malicious activities. And we also need to ensure that digital systems are reliable and safe for users to use, thereby preventing unauthorized access and ensuring the private and secure of a user's data. I hope you get that now.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
In conclusion, in conclusion, we as an individual should take steps to protect our personal information and also practice a safe online behavior. So we should make sure that we take steps to protect our information by making sure that we encrypt our files and do not share confidential information outside, and also avoiding suspicious link because most time cyber criminals use links like, okay, oh, click on this link to get or to win a particular phone or a particular laptop and the likes. And out of curiosity and we willing to like get an iPhone or laptop, click on such links. So we have to like prevent that from happening. And also we should use strong passwords. We should use strong password in order for our system to be safe, and also not sharing suspicious or sensitive information outside. And to our organization, we can protect them by implementing strong authentication process. And by preventing an organization is not just by implementing strong authentication process. So we can protect our organization by regularly patching and monitoring system for security breaches. So we have to like daily monitor our system and patches security breaches. And also we should make sure that all our system or all our app we use are always up to date in order to make our security strong, and also prevent cyber criminals from breaching into our confidential informations. So here are some resources or reference to whatever I taught today. You can go through that, or I'll drop the link to all the references on the groups for you to go through. And if you have any questions, you can simply ask your question now.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, please. Thank you for the class. I wanted to know in the asymmetrical this thing, is it like let's say is it like a cryptography something like I don't know Bitcoin, like isn't a public having a private key and sending out your public key for someone to before someone can authenticate? Like I mean, do you get to use the two keys at the same time?
Okay, for the asymmetric encryption, we use two different keys, which are the private and the public keys. Yes, it's something like it's a cryptography stuff too. So we use the public key to like encrypt the file and the private key to decrypt the file.
All right, yeah, I get that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Hello. So my question is about the malwares.
Oh yeah, our
Can you
malwares.
just repeat just a brief explanation about it because I couldn't get it well.
Oh, all right. Concerning the malware, it's a code or a file that infects or steal information. There's a particular code they use to like steal an information from someone. So you can like sending a code or a link, like what I said the other time. You send a link to you and you mistakenly or out of curiosity you click the link without even taking some precaution to check if okay, oh, this link is like from a reputable source or not. So once that link is being clicked, whatever code the person puts inside that link will start manifesting. So it will start infecting your system. And by so doing, the person will gain access to whatever data he or she wants to gain from your data or your bank card or any other thing. So that is how that is how malwares are used to steal informations. Hope you understand that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
The question is, when banks give token, like physical hard tokens from probably a device that is generates token at every use, how does that um work with cryptography? Is there a similarity, or is that kind of a way of cryptography?
Token. What token are you talking about?
It's usually a device that generates token anytime you want to log into your banking
Yeah,
service.
you had
Oh, okay. A token that they will send to you. Yes, that's you know, when they send you that code, they'll tell you, okay, it's for you. Like, I've forgotten the way they used to like send that message. Like, here is your bank token or whatever. It's for only you, or code. Do not share it. Yeah, do not share it. So something like that is only for you. So once the code is sent to you, you have to like use it for yourself, or do not allow someone else to use it. Take for instance, now your friend is beside you, you're trying to like log into your bank app or something. I don't know what you are doing actually. And it requires them sending you a token. And unknown to you, your friend is also like, okay, using something like similar to your banks and all. And the person is closer to you and is going through whatever you are doing. And once the person gains access to your token, then the person can actually gain access to whatever you want to do. You
All
get?
right. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions? Any other questions? Any other contributions or questions, whatever?
I'm sorry, this was the basic fundamentals of basic security fundamentals.
The basic security fundamentals. Okay, those ones deals with the authentication, like I said earlier. They deal with authentication, encryption of files, your monitoring of your devices, and the likes. Can you hear me? Luis Tunji. Is she in the call? Luis Tunji. Do you get that? I guess she's having network issues. Any other questions, please? Do we have any other questions, or do we understand security fundamentals? All right, we should also note that the types of encryption is not only symmetric and asymmetric. There are also other types of encryption, but the basic encryptions that are known are the symmetric and the asymmetric. So there are other types of encryption, which includes hashing, but I won't be taking that for your level. So we're only going to be going through the asymmetric and symmetric encryptions. So any questions, any contributions to security fundamentals?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mark.
So about the asymmetric encryption, uh,
Yes.
does it involve like random generation of tokens, or is it that there's a particular each step of the authentication has a particular password on its own? Static, I mean static password.
The password. The asymmetric it deals with a plain text, like it deals with whatever you want to encrypt. So for instance, now I want to like encrypt let me say a name or a bad thing. Like, okay, let me just put it like this. I'm a politician. There's a particular bad thing I did, and I don't want it to like get across to everyone. So something like that, I can easily like encrypt it. And by so doing, I myself will have the master key um to that file. And let me say 2 or 3 of my friends that I trust well not to like release the key outside, we have access to the public key. But me personally, we have access to the private key. to go through all the files and all. Do you understand?
Yes, that means I personally, the one with the original file, that means I can edit it, but
Yes,
the
you
other
can
people
edit
cannot
it.
edit the file,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. So do we have any other questions? Samuel, you were about saying something the other time.
Sorry, ma'am.
Good evening,
Can you hear me?
Olami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
I can hear
Yeah, good
you.
evening. Okay, I want to clarify something. You said something about that private and public. Okay,
Yeah.
I was going through a document yesterday, and from what I saw, I noticed that they said if I'm using a asymmetric stuff, that I can have two different people that I want to send the stuff to, which will be private key, and the first person will have the private key, which will send the private key to me, and me sending my own private key to the other person. Then I will be sending the public key to him, but everybody can access the public key. I want to now know from what you are saying, is it the same thing with what you are saying?
The public key, everybody can access the public
Eh,
key.
yes, yes,
And
that's what I
besides,
read.
everybody can access the public key. And it can only be decrypted using the corresponding private key, which is the private key, like the private key I myself have.
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
Yes,
Yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome. Any other question?
Huh? What is it?
If it's private
Samuel.
key,
Okay.
Yes.
What did you say?
I am okay. The
No,
Yes,
private
I can
key.
hear you.
You
Yes.
said something about the private key being like you share it. So I and the person I'm sharing it, are we having the same private key or we have its own
No,
original
no, no.
private
We
key?
are not sharing private key. It is only the public key that we share.
Yes. I mean, like since
The
it's me
private key
sending
is
the
kept.
data to it,
What do you say?
since I'm the one sending the data to him, will I also have the private key in case I want to access it? Let's say
Since
the
you are the
data
one
I'm sending
sending the
to
data to him, it is automatically you that is encrypting the file or decrypting the file. So the private key will be for you. Like the sensitive
him.
data is for you. So you automatically have the private key. So the public key is the one you will give out to your fellow friend that you want to give out to. Do you
Okay,
get?
thank
You're welcome, Samuel. So any more questions? So everyone here understands security fundamental, yes or yes?
Yes.
you. Yes.
Yes, we understand.
All right. So
Please, I need to ask if there is um a way we can get the recording of the class.
the recording of the class. Oh, actually, I do not record the class, but I can send the PDF.
It will be sent to be uploaded on YouTube.
Okay, to be uploaded on YouTube, and
And the
I can
slides.
actually send you my. Yeah, I'm going to send the slides to you.
Okay.
Is that all, David?
Yeah.
Good
All
evening,
right.
ma.
Any more questions? Contributions? Good evening.
Thank you, ma. Please, can you drop your WhatsApp number?
Oh, can I drop my WhatsApp number? All right, I do not include it on the slide, but yeah, I can drop my WhatsApp link, and if you can also chat me up. Most often, I'm always on my Instagram. You can reach me on Instagram because I don't want my WhatsApp to be too choked up. I won't be able to like respond to all messages, so I will prefer you chat me up most on my Instagram. But I'm going to drop my number on the
Okay, thank
chat.
you, ma'am.
You're welcome. And please don't forget to fill the attendance.
Okay, Shalom, I take it you're done, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, let me stop the recording, then we'll continue.